Let's take a look at finding the perimeter of a polygon now. Anytime we're finding the perimeter of a polygon, what we need to do is add up the sides, basically. Now, if we're looking at a regular polygon, let's say, for instance, we have a regular hexagon. And for the sake of argument, we're going to assume these sides are all the same length. And let's say that its side lengths are 8 millimeters. If this was a regular hexagon, that means it has 6 sides. Anytime you have a regular polygon and you want to find the perimeter of this polygon, you just take the perimeter equal to the number of sides times the side length. So we're going to take the perimeter equal to the number of sides times the side length. In this case, we're looking at a hexagon, so the perimeter is equal to 6 and the side length is 8. So the perimeter is equal to 6 times 8, so it's 48 millimeters. Now, if we're looking at, say, a rectangle, which is a little bit different, rectangles have an actual formula we can use whenever we are calculating their perimeters. There's two ways of looking at it. Most common you'll see is perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Another way you can see it sometimes is perimeter equals 2 times length plus width. Either one of them is just fine. Doesn't matter which one you really go with. Kind of depends on what you're solving for necessarily. So if we wanted to solve for the perimeter of this particular rectangle, I would say perimeter equals 2 times my length is 3 plus 2 times 2. So I now have perimeter equals 6 plus 4. So my perimeter is 10 total centimeters. Now, if we had a figure that was a little bit more irregular in shape, something a little bit more like, say, this figure, let's take a look at something that's a little bit more like this. And we're going to give this a side length of 4. I'm going to say this over here is 5, 8, and 11. And we're just going to go with a base of units. Well, we have a couple missing sides that we need to either find, or we need to find another way of compensating for the missing side lengths. Now, since this is a shape that looks kind of like a rectangle with kind of a piece cut out right here, a couple different ways we can approach this. We can say that this entire length over here is 11 and this is 5, so the difference between them has to be 6. And we can kind of do the same thing going the other direction. I know that this is 8 up here, this is 4. Those two together equal the same as this opposite side of them. So this base here has to be a total of 12. That's one way of solving for it. Another idea is you take these side lengths, or these sides that are missing or that we actually have, and you imagine pushing them out and making a full rectangle. So that then if you were able to redraw the figure, you know that you have 8 plus the 4 that you just pushed up, and then you would have that full side length of 11, and you just have these two here combined give you a side of 12. So that's another way of looking at it. Either way, if you do it this way, you have to then go through and add up all the side lengths we found. Kind of like this method of it, because now we can just take our perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Plug in the numbers we just found and go about solving it. So you can see again, we had our length, I just went with the 11 for that, our width of 12, so there's where the 11 went in, the 12 went up here, 22 plus 24 then after I multiplied 2 and 11 gives me 22, 2 times 12 gives me 24, so now I have a perimeter equal of 46 units. If we went about doing it over here, we'd have to add all of these side lengths that we came up with. So I'd have to add the 11 plus 8 plus the 6 plus the 4 plus the 5 plus the 12. So these two here give me 19, 10, 17. So I'd probably add these two together next and get 27 plus 19, 46 units as well. So you can see we're going to arrive at the same answer whichever way we go about solving it. This one, you go ahead and rely on the formula for solving the perimeter. This one here, you go around and you add up all the different sides. So that's a quick lesson on how you go about finding perimeter of a polygon.